It's time now for our Entre Nous segment with Solange Mougin. Solange, good to see you. Today, we're going to be focusing on back-to-school supplies and their costs to French households, with some that are very typically very French school supplies. And Solange, it's that time of the year again, isn't it?
It is. It is la rentrée, or back to school and back to work time here in France. And for many parents, it is that time of year that is synonymous with trying to find every single element on a very, very long list of very specific school supplies that teachers want. With nearly 12 million children having started school here in France, backpacks are now full, but not with just any notebook or pencil and pen, plus the often requested 2 boxes of Kleenex and a box of photocopy paper that is often standard.
Really?
But the lists are actually quite detailed beyond that. My daughter's list for 6e or 6th grade in the US, year 7 in the UK, was 5 pages long. So it was and is every year a bit of a casse-tête or a bit of a headache for parents. Now, parents often deal with this in a multitude of ways. There are the early starters and the last-minute shoppers. And actually here in France, supermarkets, where some 70% of such purchases are made, are very well aware of this. Come the month of June, so just as school's ending, you'll start seeing discounts on school supplies, and this actually runs until a couple weeks after la rentrée, or the start of the school year. And they actually have supermarkets have a reputation for being the cheapest option, even if increasingly there's competition from online shops. Consumer studies have shown that the summer is the time to buy a year's worth of stock as prices go up afterwards. So it is definitely the moment where parents buy their glue sticks, and not just 1 or 2. One list of a colleague here that she received for her first grader, there was a request for 20 glue sticks. So the question quickly becomes which one to purchase.
There's 40% off on this, so it comes to €1.49 per pack of 5 glue sticks, versus a major brand which is €4.69 for 5. When it comes to its use, the quality is there. We tested it and proved it, so it's good.
Now, what's interesting about this soundbite is the mother mentions quality. She says that she tested the glue stick first. And here, there is actually a reason to be careful. According to France's fraud watchdog, many of the school supplies available in stores actually may contain harmful and toxic materials. And consumer organizations have found this as well, even among major brands. So best to read the fine print. And according to an Opinionway poll, quality is actually the #1 criteria for many parents, followed by longevity of the school supplies, and in third place, the price.
So let's talk about the price. How much do these typically cost the average French household?
Well, it really depends on the year in the school, and you could even argue the teacher. And here we're not only talking about pens and pencils and backpacks. Books and clothes are actually a whole other story and not counted within the annual average. In France, according to the association Famille de France, which does an annual count of this, families spend on average €211 for a child entering middle school. That's actually down by 5.5% compared to last year. So that's the good news. But this comes actually after years of inflation in the sector. And €200 is a lot of money for many households. But France, compared to other European nations, well, it may not be doing so badly. According to a Euronews analysis, it's Italy and Spain that pay the most for school supplies when it comes when you adjust for income. This compared to France, Germany, and the UK. As for help footing the bill here in France, there is something called the ARS, or l'Allocation de Rentrée Scolaire, and it was created in 1974 to help households weather the costs. It changes according to inflation, and this year it is between €423 and €462. So that's quite a bit of money. But not everyone gets it. Only 3 million families received it this year, as there is an income bracket cutoff. It's actually been quite controversial in the past, with even an education minister creating much ire after he said that it was used to buy iPads and screens. screens. But actually, a CAF study found that 99% of those funds are actually used for back-to-school supplies and new clothes for the year, and it is very much needed for many families.
Solange, I know you did your schooling in the US, so talk us through what are some very French school supplies which we wouldn't find elsewhere, and what's cool among kids today?
Well, la mode or trends, of course, they change every year, but there are a few classics that, for me, as an American, feel particularly French. The first is the la trousse, the pencil case. This is a must-have. And this one was actually provided by my city for my daughter as a sort of, for all of the first graders in her class, for the basics, for everyone to be on equal footing and no one to be left out. Also, one of the more popular items among kids in France is the Bic 4 couleurs. They come in many different colors. This 4-colored pen is much loved, and many kids collect them, some even steal them. And actually, the Bic pen is a French invention that for decades has been loved around the world. Some 27 million of their products are sold every single day. Of that, 16 million are pens. But Bic isn't the only kind that kids want. Legamies are hugely popular, as are erasable ones by Pilot. And then, of course, there is the cartable, and the backpack debate. Not only about the weight, as they are systematically heavier than they should be. The recommendation is actually 10 to 15% of the child's weight, and they are generally much heavier than this. But for the kids, the debate is often about style, with a number of brands and much nostalgia among parents for these square-like backpacks, often used by younger students, while the more classic backpacks are preferred by lots of older kids.
It's got lots of little hearts. I love hearts.
It has to be big with lots of room.
It's comfortable.
I'm 9 years old. I have to carry it on my shoulders now so I can get exercise and build my muscles up.
Now, of course, there are a slew of brands and fashion trends. They change every year. But at the end of the day, it comes down to finding a happy medium between cost, utility, and, of course, a back-to-school treat or two for children.
Thank you very much for that, Solange Mougin, there with our Entre Nous segment.